Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Royal Ocean Racing Club for the skipper's briefing of our centenary Rolex Fastnet race. It's a great honour and a privilege for me as the CEO of Rourke to be standing here talking to all you competitors taking part in this historical part of the club's history. So thank you again for being here, and thank you for taking part in this centenary Fastnet race. It means a lot to the club, so thank you again. On behalf of everyone, I'd just like to say all the competitors, all our volunteers, our race team have done an outstanding job, not only in preparing for the Rolex Fastnet race, but all the work they've done with the Admiral's Cup, which we've brought back after a 22-year gap, which has been a great success. And you'll have the fleet racing with you tomorrow. And I'm sure we have some of the owners and skippers here this afternoon. So without further ado, I will just pass you over to Steve to take you through all the important parts of the Rolex Fastnet race. Steve.
Thank you, Jeremy. Good afternoon, everybody. We will hopefully run through this fairly promptly. So this is the skipper's briefing for the race starting tomorrow, and that'll be followed by the more important weather briefing from Arno and our friends at Predict Wind. I'm glad to say, for a change, it's not going to be blowing 35 knots. Which it has been for the 2023 and 21, so we all remember it. Yes. Okay, so let's go. Okay, that's interesting. Clicker work. We shall start with fundamental rule 3. This was very much highlighted last year. The rules still apply this time. Obviously, it's your decision to start the race and to continue the race. Hopefully, you will all do so. Before we start the race tomorrow, we'd like everybody's crew numbers to be correct in Sail Race HQ. I have to say that out of just under 3,000 people, we are only about 6 bits of information missing, which is would probably be a record for a standard Rourke race, let alone the Fastnet race. So thank you all very much. For those of you that are getting the alerts, if you can just take the time and fill in the missing information, that'd be hugely appreciated. Most of the people have done it. The most important one there is the emergency contact details, which we need and carry for everybody in the race. Your onboard mobile numbers will be checked when you've been checking in. These are the ones that are sending the WhatsApp POB checks. So again, you should have all received that. We'll move on to that in a minute. Make sure your AOS is switched on correctly and displaying your race name. If any of you have a AOS name that is not your race name, let us know. We can temporarily change it on the system. If you've not done so already, please download the competitor app. The links to those for those are on the sailing instructions and on the notice board. That will allow you to do your POB checks in the morning and also for the declarations when you get to Cherbourg. You should have all received now the automated POB checks. If there are any of you that haven't, and it's come from our WhatsApp number, so this is not the WhatsApp competitor group. This is a separate WhatsApp number. It's hopefully very self-explanatory. If any of you have heard the noise, it means you put in the wrong number. So have another go with the correct one. There is a slight delay, a couple of minutes for sending that message in and then getting the reply back. So the people who have actually read the sailing instructions would have noticed that this year we have no identity gates. We have 440 something boats in the start area, and it was just felt that the identity gates were actually causing more problems than they were solving. We have identified 2 waiting areas, and we would ask you to stay in those until about 20 minutes before you'll start. And it's very hot in there. Test rule. So tomorrow, the first couple of starts should be okay. You'll be slightly into the tide. The later starts, IRC 3 and 4, you'll be starting more or less with the tide slightly under you and very much under you at this end. Please don't spoil your race by getting a 2-hour time penalty for being 10 foot over the line. Be aware of the tide, especially for the later starts in the sequence. So does everyone understand that rule? Anyone any questions about that? No hands up from the class 40s from anyone who watched 23 start. These are the start times. As you'll see, we're going out in start order. So I could read them out, but I'm sure you can all read. So at the back. No, pennant 0 it says, doesn't it? Yeah, for the Admiral's Cup class, we'll display AC1 and AC2 flags, one under each other. Yeah. So you'll see the starts are actually quite compressed at the start sequence. So in 10-minute order for the classes that don't have as many boats in them. And then as we get down towards RC2, 3 and 4, there's a 20-minute gap. I think RC 3 and 4 have 100 boats each. So we'll give you plenty of time to get up to the start line. The obstructions, all noted in Appendix A. Draw your attention to Appendix TS, Section B. There is a growing trend, let's say, for the authorities to start calling boats on their approaches to TSSs. So they don't now wait until you've crossed into the TSS. If it looks like your intent is to cross through the TSS, they will start calling you. So all I would say is make your intentions pretty clear. We all know that sometimes we all like to race right up to the point of the TSS because it's the quickest route. I'll just say that if you are not doing that, then just make your intentions clear. The TSSs are geo-fenced with our yellow bit tracking, and there's a standard 3% penalty for infringement of those. Just gentleman's just nodded his head down a little bit. Perfect. Okay. So lobster pots, watch out for them off Land's End. There's hundreds of them. Not much I can say about that. So this is the Cowes waterfront obstruction. So essentially, if you're starting from the yacht squadron line, you will see out there's a boat on one of the moorings. That line of the orange moorings just to the left of the squadron is basically the line of the obstruction. We do get a lot of spectator boats inside those buoys, so they are not expecting you to go in there, and we are not expecting them to come out the other way. So it's a happy medium. So that line runs straight the way down, and then when you get to the last one, you're free to go. The next lot off Pinellas Head, this always causes a little bit of confusion, but we have tried to clarify at the end of the sailing instructions. So this is on the way back, and you need to leave all outlying rocks and islets within 8 miles of Pinellas Head. So anything that's in that circle of 8 miles radius, you need to leave to port. But it is clarified at the end of the sailing instructions.
Only on the way back, isn't it?
Correct, yes, only on the way back, yep. Okay, so you've had a fine 350-mile beat to the Fastnet and another 300-mile downwind run in 20 knots glorious sunshine, and you're now back in Cherbourg, or on the way to Cherbourg. When you're about 5 miles out, if you can start listening on VHF 7.2, the fort, for those of you who've seen it before, has got quite a good range of radio, so they will be able to call you from 5 miles out. They will try and identify boats, obviously your AIS tracked and your satellite tracked, but when there's a big gaggle of boats, and sometimes the YB is slightly behind the curve, as you know. So please listen out on 7.2 as you approach the finish. You need to watch out for the commercial traffic coming out of that exit. It's very easy to scoot downwind into there in 50 knots. all full of the joys of finishing and be met with a cross-channel ferry. So just watch out for that as you go in. We will try and give everybody a gun at the end. Well, I'll say a gun, it won't be a gun, it'll be a horn. A horn at the end of the race. Everyone likes a sound signal at the end of the race, but we can't always guarantee it. We will try our best though. Once you have finished, and when the Ocean One finish team can respond, if you want to, you can confirm your finish and you can confirm your finish time. But please be aware that if there's a lot of you finishing at a time, they may be busy putting the results into the Sail Race HQ system and into the logs. And then the event birthing team on channel 77. So once you've finished and you've finished your comms with the finish team, if you then switch to 77, someone from the birthing team will contact you and tell you which berth you are going to head for. And the Chantilly Marina will monitor channel 9, but the berthing team on 77 are the ones that are in charge. Okay. Speed limit is 8 knots in Cherbourg Harbour for the old teams. We prefer the east of the Grand Rand and the eastern parts. If you want to sail outside, then that's fine. The French like you to watch on to listen on channel 12 inside the outer wall, as it were. Don't hesitate to contact the harbour master if you need more information. Please be aware that as you come in through the outer harbour and turn into the inner harbour, on your right-hand side there is a military base, which is very closely protected by the French. I don't know what they're doing in there, but they protect it and they come out and scoot you away quite quickly in ribs. So just please follow the event birthing team until you're right into the marina. Okay, clicker's packed up. Okay, so you finished, done the race, everyone's happy. As you cross the finishing line, you will automatically be sent your declaration form. That will be sent through in the form of a link, so that will go to the number that is registered in your system as your prime contact number. It's a very simple form to fill in and declare, so no need for paper forms or anything in the office. If you have a problem with that, come and see the race team in the office and we'll help you through it. All of your customs details have already been sent to the French authorities. We have French customs people at the race desk in Cherbourg, so they are expecting you. That should make the process a whole lot quicker, but you will need to stamp in and stamp out of Cherbourg. My understanding is that if you finish and go, i.e. you don't set foot in France, then you don't need to do that. I don't think that is actually the law, but the customs officials have told us that effectively if you are during that race not stopping, come back to the UK, you don't need to stamp in and out. Hopefully though, you will all come in and enjoy the great Cherbourg hospitality. The race village looks amazing on the pictures we've seen. And of course, when you get there, you'll be able to collect your finisher's battle flag from the race office and also the T-shirts. The T-shirts are back this year. Everyone would be pleased to know. Apart from the 3 or 4 of you that like the belts. Okay, one more is there. Now, here we go. Media team, or Nedia team, as I call them. They would love to know what's going on your boats during the race. Any photos, videos, content that is suitable for family viewing. Send it in to them on that WhatsApp number. All I would say, and I say this in the gentlest way, is that we all know the rules and the Rourke prescriptions and what you're going to do at various wind strengths and at night and what sails you're going to have up. So just have a quick look at them before you send them in. Before we all get clobbered by the armchair warriors saying, I noticed so-and-so. You shouldn't be doing it anyway, but anyway, have a quick look before you send it in to us. Save us all a lot of grief. So social media channels, the Raw Media team on that WhatsApp group, and then hashtag Rolex Fastnet Race. These are our contact numbers in Cherbourg. So the top one is the Rourke office phone. That'll be manned 24 hours a day once the race team arrive in Cherbourg. The Ocean One phone, which is the number underneath, that is the emergency phone. That is not how do I get a taxi from Cherbourg to Cannes, or do you know a good restaurant in Cherbourg? That is the emergency phone. In the same way, please don't use the competitor WhatsApp group to tell us that your master's fallen down. Okay, so if your master's fallen down, that's the number. If you want to know a good restaurant, WhatsApp group. Okay, excellent. Save us all a bit of grief. No, okay. Right, short and hopefully sweet. Before we move on to Arno and the weather, has anyone got any questions, queries? Oh, yeah, thank you. Yeah, for those of you who have not seen on the competitor WhatsApp group, to add to the fun tomorrow, some of you may or may not know that we've got the Princess Royal doing a couple of the starts for the Centurini year and the Admiral's Cup class. And we also have the Red Arrows coming between 12:05 and 12:15. So when they do fly past, please make sure at least one person in the boat is still looking forward and not up. Otherwise, it could be a short race for some of you. Okay, any questions on the SIs or anything anybody's not happy with the race going forward into Cherbourg? No. Okay, well, I know you're actually all here to hear what Arno's going to tell you. So we will invite Arno up onto the stage and he will talk you through it. Where is he? There he comes. Arno.
Thank you, Steve. Hello, everyone. So, Predicting and I myself, we're very happy to be here and deliver this weather briefing for you guys. So, let's get started. So, this is the program for today. So, we're going to start by looking at the synoptic weather. So, we really understand the big picture of the weather. Then, we're going to zoom into the Solent to really understand the wind and also the current, and we're going to finish with the weather routing for the entire race. Louder? Okay. So this is the first picture. This is the synoptic view of the weather for tomorrow, Saturday at 1 p.m. Okay, so we're looking at all the ocean. The big players are the low pressure over Iceland, which is very deep. And we have this player, which is a high over the Azores, which is going to control the next 5 days and the entire race. So those two weather systems create a westerly wind in the open ocean, in the Atlantic, okay? And the big green dot is where we are right now. So what to remember, what to get out of this, okay? So the high pressure over the Azores is pushing a ridge toward the UK. And they're gonna control everything is going to happen over the next 5 days, okay? The high and the ridge are not very strong this weekend, okay? So the weather, especially on Sunday, is going to be on the lighter side. But the next week, especially on Tuesday, the high is going to be very powerful and is going to control the system and is going to be very steady condition, okay? So if you don't like those black and white map, here is the same one. It's a colored one. This is for Saturday. This is the model ECMWF, okay, at noon, the start time. So we have the same player and the big high over the Azores. And as you can see, as it approaches Ireland and the UK, it splits into two branches. And the branch to the south, the red arrow, is a northwest gradient we're going to have for the next 5 days, as I was saying, okay? But as it enters the channel, okay, it's going to be westerly. And tomorrow for the start, this is what we're going to get, is a direction from the west, but offshore it's northwest. And I want to point out something happening right now in the Atlantic. There is this secondary low developing. It's a small player. It's not a deep low, but it's actually going to influence the weather on Sunday, and we're going to look at this together. So I'm going now 24 hours later. This is Sunday at noon. We still have the high. We'll still have the northwest gradient, but this low, as you see, is approaching us. It's spacing the isobars, and it's making the wind flicky. Monday, briefly, the high is still there, northwest gradient. Tuesday, it's even stronger. Let me go there. Okay, this is Tuesday. As you can see, it changes a little bit to the left, but it's still the same weather pattern. And again, on Wednesday, all right. On Wednesday is the same. So what to get out of this synoptic study? Okay, this is the playbook for the race. So the high pressure is going to control the race. It's going to make moderate, consistent, and fair weather conditions. And Sunday, please remember this one, maybe is a lighter one. Okay? So now that we are done with this synoptic view, we're going to zoom in into the Solent, and we're going to look at the wind first. So this is Saturday, 11 a.m. It's still a global model we're looking at, ECMWF, but I just wanted to show this shape that we discussed, the westerly in the Atlantic, the northwest gradient in the Irish Sea, and what we are dealing with is the westerly gradient, okay? So this is a global model, but what we want to offer you is high-resolution models. So we're going to look at AROM and also UKMO 2 kilometers. So this is the start time, 11 a.m. On the left is AROM, and on the right is UKMO. As you can see, the direction is consistent. We have a west-southwest flow, but UKMO is on the lighter side, okay? It's going to take a couple of hours to fill in, but AROM is more optimistic, and is having already 10 knots at the start. We're going to go hour by hour. So 1 hour later, at 12, UKMO is still very light, but on the left, AROM is already well established at 12 or 14 knots, 240 degrees. I'm going now to 1 p.m., an hour later, and only then UKMO fills in. Okay, so at this stage, I cannot tell you which one is right. Those models, they update very frequently. So tomorrow morning, please have a look and look at the latest run of those two to get a good idea. And there is a good chance they're going to agree, either the wind coming early or a bit later. And this one was like the 2 p.m. I just wanted to show you on the western Solent, they all agree, and it should be, I think, around 15 knots after this time. So now that we look at the wind with the high resolution, we're going to do the same for the current. So here I'm using the PredictWind tidal and ocean current with a resolution of 100 kilometers. So this is Saturday, 11 a.m., so just before the start. So before you start, it was a westerly current blowing, pushing you from the west to the east. But at 11 a.m., as you can see on the eastern Solent, it's starting to reverse. So when it's going to be starting, you are going to have this type of current. So this is the easterly current pushing you toward the exit, and it's going to be increasing. So this is noon. I'm moving now to, so this one is still noon, but I'm putting on the left the current, and on the right I'm putting the wind for AROM. So here I want to show you that this is wind against current. You're going to be sailing upwind, but the current will be helping you and pushing you outside of the Solent. So after this time step, the 100-meter resolution is not available yet. It will be in few hours. So I'm showing you a lower resolution, which is 400 meters. It doesn't go all to the edges of the channel, but it gives you an indication, and the current from the east is going to be consistent all afternoon, and the max is going to be by 3 p.m. So once again, later tomorrow morning, if you update this, you will have the 100-meter resolution for the start. So now we're going to look at the entire race, all the way to the Rock and to France. So I'm going to propose you a route using one model, and the boat I'm going to use is a Sunfast 3200. Okay, so on this line, on this map, you see many colored lines. So all the lines is for one weather model. So maybe it's a bit confusing, but what is interesting to see is for the first beat, when you are following the south coast of the UK, they all agree and they are all tight. And it just gives you that looking at different weather models is actually important to compare them and get a good understanding of the model, of the route. So now I want to focus on just one model. So we're just going to look at the black line, which is ECMWF. So I'm going to run the route just by looking this one from the start all the way to the finish. And before I do that, I want to mention one important point, is the black route, ECMWF, for the first 36 hours, it's using actually Arome high resolution. Not a lot of people knew it, but we are including this because this is the most accurate for the first 36 hours. So underway, if you have data connection and you can refresh the route with where you are, you will always be using the Arome for the next 36 hours. So let's get into it. If my things work well, the animation should start, okay? So as you can see, the boat, as soon as you leave the Solent, you're going to be more in the northwest pattern. And now you can see this very light patch of blue. This is a secondary low. And when it goes, on Monday, you're going to go back into the well-established northwesterly gradient until the Rock. And on the way down, when you go down with the Spinnaker, Tuesday is going to be a good day, quite breezy. And by the end, it should be lighter. So this model run with the Sunfast 32, it's 4.5 days to do the route. So it's going to be a long one. So looking at the map and animation is good, but looking at the table and numbers, you can get a lot out of it. So every column is a different model. And on the right, I put a box just with some stats that summarize everything. So I was saying for Sunfast, for this route, it was 36 feet. It's 4 to 5 days for the route. The average wind speed is going to be 12 knots, as we're saying, and it's quite consistent. 90% of the time, you should have good wind speed from 8 to 20 knots. We are not expecting strong wind speed. The routes just give you like maximum wind speed 18, and even the gusts don't go above 20 knots. So this high pressure system will make fair weather condition. And the distribution in terms of upwind, ridgewind, and downwind is pretty well balanced. We got a third for everything. And so far, we haven't talked too much about the waves because there are not much to do. Nothing big is expected. Okay, ECMWF is showing 1 to 1.5 meter in the Irish Sea with quite a long period. So this should not be a big factor. Thank you.
Thank you, Arno. You can come again. That's a much better forecast than the last time.
Come back next year.
Yeah, come back in 25. Okay, that is it. Unless anybody has any other questions, please do come and visit the race village in Cherbourg. I know it's unfinished business for a few of you, but it's a pretty amazing setup that our French friends have put on over there. And one final thing before we close, a request from the clubhouse. They're actually doing a dinner in this room in about an hour and a half. So as much as we love you all, if you could just all clear off now, that'd be absolutely awesome. Thank you very much and have a great race.